Hey everyone, welcome back. This is it, the final assembly and review for the LEGO AT-AT. In the last video, I finished bags 16, 17, and 18. You can't quite see all the parts on the table, but they're there. It was all the side panels and a few more accessories. I'm going to put the side panels on first, and then do a review of the entire set. Because the set is so large, I have it on a table on the floor. You can't quite see the bottom of the legs. So I'll have to reset my camera again to show the entire thing, but for now I'm just going to focus on this part of the body. So the first panel to be installed is this one right here. On the back, there's some brown Technic elements which have a hole in it. And that's going to sit on these Technic pins right here. So this whole assembly just rests on those Technic pins, and then these side panels just get rotated over. So this can easily be taken off just by lifting it up. It's a little tricky because this assembly here sticks out so much, so you have to kind of tilt it in a little bit, get it resting on the pins, and then tilt it down and then rotate these over. Boy, that looks good. I'll do the same thing for the back panel. Now there's 3 more main panels, and they go on the top here. So there's some red pins sticking up in the set here. So in these roof panels, some of the bricks have holes in them, and that's going to go over these red pins in here. Otherwise, there's nothing else holding this on. You can easily lift this up, but those 2 red pins in those holes is enough to keep this in place. Same thing for this panel. It's got holes in this element right there, and more red Technic pins for it to go into. Think that's set properly? I'm not sure. Feels like it's not in the right spot. And then this last panel, 2 Technic pins, 2 Technic holes on the top. Again, it just sits down. Which way is which? That's the front. It should sit. Okay, everything's put on. These panels are a little delicate. While they're easily removable, these side panels are just kind of flapping in the wind here. There's nothing holding them in place. So you really got to kind of give them a squeeze to get them aligned with the body. Move this way. So you can see how these panels can just be opened up like that. So to get them to sit flush with the rest of the body, you really got to push them in. This thing's heavy. Well, that's everything. Everything's finished. One thing I want to do now, though, is there's a couple speeder bikes that came with the set, and they will actually sit in here. So to do that, I need to remove some of the panels I just put on. So I'm going to go ahead and just take these off again, because the only way to take off the side panels is if the top panels are off. So I'm going to remove this again. Now, right in here, these speeder bikes can actually sit on a rack. There's one. Second one should just sit on top. So they loosely stack in there, but they're actually quite stable in there. I'm also going to stick this in here. It's just going to sit loosely in the set. And I might as well jam the rest of my minifigs in here too. I'm going to leave Luke out just so I can demonstrate something in a minute. So I like how pretty much everything other than the place card can go within the set itself. So it's all self-contained. There's great detail on the outside. I think it looks really good. If I lift up the roof panel here, there's a handle on the inside of the neck that if I grab the handle, I can turn the head. For the head itself, you can lift up the front, and inside is the cockpit where the pilots can go. The cannons on the side of the head can rotate, and then the guns at the bottom can move in and out. Nothing's connected to each other though, so you just have to move them yourself. And the legs can move, which I'll show that in a minute. I'm just going to spin this around to show how it looks in all the different directions. Lift this up. So there's the front view. I can demonstrate the head turning just by moving it like this. There's the inside of the cockpit. What I don't like, these side panels are really squirrely. they don't really sit flush. They need something to hold it closer. There's quite a bit of a gap there. So that's got a bit of a wobble to it. I like how the head can actually rotate side to side as well. There's nothing to hold it there. It'll just bounce back. So the cannon fell off, but it does rotate. And as this demonstrates, there are a few items on here that are a little unstable. If you put too much pressure on them, they'll pop off like that just did. This side of the set. What I forgot to show, this middle panel can actually open like a door. And the joints are stiff enough, there's enough friction that it'll hold itself open. So you can open the door, it actually opens on both sides. So you're going to see all the way through. That door is actually really nice construction, a nice feature to have that there. Gives you a little bit of playability without taking off the entire side panel. Now on the back, again, you can see how these don't quite sit properly unless you give them a push. They'll tend to float away like that. The good thing about them though is, again, you have good access to the inside of the set. Without pulling everything off, you can just open the panel and I can get at those speeder bikes that I just put in there. Oh, another part just came off of my hand. See, there's definitely certain parts of the set that don't have good fixity. Even when I picked the set up from the bottom, I've knocked off stuff off the bottom of the set. Just like that, I knocked another piece off. It's a little disappointing because it looks so good. It'd be really nice if every part was firmly affixed. Now to demonstrate the legs moving, I'm going to have to move this up on my main table. So of course you can't see the top of the set anymore. This is just going to be on the legs. Way back in one of the early videos, there's this tool that you construct. This is used to put into a Technic pin that's in the legs here. You can see how that's sticking out like that. It's on that Technic pin. And if I rotate the Technic pin, so I got to lift this up just a little bit, take the pressure off the legs, and then I can rotate this. See how that leg kicks out? Then there's another one down here. I can rotate this and bend the leg back the other way. And by doing that, on all of the legs, this is the first time I've tried adjusting the legs when it's fully constructed. And I'm just noticing, if I were to let go of this, this is going to tip over. So while you can adjust the legs with this, it doesn't seem to be that stable, and this popped out. That's a little bit fragile too then. So I'm going to move this back vertical. So now it's stable again. It's unfortunate that it's that unstable when moving it. I'm going to have to play around with this a bit. I was going to do some stop motion animation, but if it's not going to be able to stand up on its own after moving the legs, I might have to rethink that, especially if all these connections keep coming off. Yeah, all of these came off when I did that. Well, there you go. Overall, I like the set. It's going to be weird to say this, but I'm more impressed with the individual components than I am with the overall assembly. And that's just because it's more fragile than I thought it was going to be. Although originally I didn't even know that you could move the legs, so that's a bonus. I'm sure there's a way to do it without it tipping over. I'm just going to have to play around with it a bit and figure that out. For a more detailed look at how the legs move, go back and take a look at one of my previous videos. I don't remember the part number. I'll put that in the video here so you know to go look at that part. Oh, the one last thing to demonstrate. So the Luke minifig comes with a rope. You can hang Luke on the rope and then attach him to the underside somewhere. So there should be a hole underneath here. You can just see him there. You can hang Luke off the bottom. And then underneath there's also a hatch you can open. Just like in the movie, he blows a hatch open and he throws a grenade in there to blow up the inside. So you can replicate that by doing this. A little bit of a play feature on such a large set. That's quite nice. Well, I think that's it. I think I covered everything. What do you think of the set? I'm happy that I'm done building it now. It took a long time. I'm not sure how many videos I got out of this total, but it's probably at least 8, maybe more. I just wanted to show every part of the construction. It'd be a shame to take something that took me about 20 hours to build and make it into a 15-minute video. So I get as many videos as I can out of a big build like this. I'll do one final camera reset just to show the entire thing because I don't think you've seen everything in one shot. So here's a look at the overall set. You can see the full body and the legs. It looks amazing. I just wish some of these parts weren't so fragile, like I already mentioned. You can only really grab this from the bottom, so you have to be careful when you move it around. And it is quite heavy. Again, there's the head that can move. It can both rotate and go side to side. Cannons can move on the side. These front turrets go in and out. This can open up. And then of course all these panels will come off like I just showed. Even the back of the set has got a decent amount of detail on it and everything lines up quite well. These panels are a little bit lanky. You have to kind of push them in. There's nothing really holding them there. All in all though, pretty good. You have to be careful with the leg position like I showed. If you're adjusting the legs with the leg tool, this gets tippy very quickly. So you have to be sure that you adjust all the legs evenly so that the center of gravity stays right in the middle. Otherwise this will tip over. Well, what do you think of the set? Please let me know in the comments. I hope you enjoyed watching all the videos. I certainly enjoyed making them. For a more detailed look at all the different parts, please go check out all my other videos. I put them all into a playlist so they're there for easy reference. Thank you so much for watching. I'll have something new for next week.